So after smashing all of those bottles and basically defacing all of the label, I managed to save this bottle of Chateau Latour 1961. There is the date when it's been consumed last, but I managed to save it. So I'm going to keep it actually for record purposes, and I'm going to put it with all of those other bottles at the top. There you go. All of those bottles actually that I keep for record purposes, they are old. But there's something that I wanted to show you. Something that people actually don't see very well, or don't necessarily realize. I'm going to try to put the camera in to record. That's going to be easier, and to show you in the same time. So let's try to put the camera here, because I'm alone right now this time. So I'm putting the camera right here. Okay. Try to adjust the quality. So you can still hear me. So this is LeDomduVin. Oh, I'm back again. As you can see here, everything has been cleaned. There's only that bottle of DRC Montrachet that I'm going to keep for record purposes as well. 2004. I managed to save actually a Von Romanet from Leroy 93. I managed to save 2005 Von Romanet from Leroy as well. Les Beaumont. And I managed to save Latache from DRC 1993 as well. But during the video, what I tried to explain to you is basically we deface the label to avoid and prevent from the counterfeiter and anybody that has any fraudulent idea or want to make fraudulent wine and put them back into the market. We deface the label with a marker or a cutter. What I wanted to show you is, I told you in the previous video that basically we were breaking the bottles with an engraving, and I want to show you actually something. So I have two bottles here. Those are a bottle of Petrus. This one is Petrus 98. Petrus 98, as you can see that there is an engraving on the top, and this is Petrus 90. So I'm going to try to do a close-up. I'm not so sure if you can see me, but because I'm alone and I put the phone, so I hope I'm looking into the phone. Anyway, so Petrus 98 with an engraving on the top of the bottle, and Petrus 90 doesn't have any engraving. And some people may ask why, may think that the 1990 is actually a fake one. But I want to show you something. So this is the engraving. This is the engraving of the Petrus 98. Engraving here. Petrus. And if we take the 1990, there is no engraving here for sure, but if you look in the pont of the bottle, which is slightly different than the pont of the 1990, you can see it. This is the 1990 and this is the 98. So 1990 pont is slightly different. At the bottom of the pont of the 1990, you can see the engraving of Petrus. I don't know if we see it clearly. I hope we do. Can we see it? Let me try to show you. There we go. We can see the engraving of Petrus in the pont. Okay? I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna up. It's a bit difficult. So Petrus in the pont. And that's the type of bottle that you want to break. Any bottle that says Petrus. Let me try to readjust the quality. Voila. So, two bottles, 98, 1990, two different type of bottles. The 1990 is slightly smaller, the 98 is slightly bigger, slightly higher. There is an engraving on the 98, there is no engraving on the 1990. Both labels are totally different. The color is slightly different. This one is yellower than actually this one. This one is actually whiter. The paper seems to be slightly different as well. You can see that the drawing are different. The vines here, the leaf, the grape are different as well. The font and the color of the font is slightly different as well. that doesn't actually say that those are fake. It just say that basically they are two different vintage. They were probably made for two different markets. They have been bottled into two different type of bottle made at a different time. One is 1990, the other one is 98. So, as I was saying, I'm going to close up the camera for you actually to be able to see the difference. So I'm taking the two bottles, I'm going to put them here on this box, and I'm going to do a close-up on the label and let you a few seconds to basically check those labels. 1990, 1998. So the difference that you have in between the two, and what I look personally when I do an inspection or when I do an authentication of some of those bottles, is the engraving. So you have engraving here of Petrus, but you don't have any engraving here on that particular bottle. It's an older type of bottle of Petrus. The engraving actually is here, but it's underneath. It's just there. Do you see it? Petrus, it says Petrus here, underneath, on the front of the bottle. So let's put those two bottles back together. Up. And now I give you a few more seconds. And you tell me what you see. The drawing is different. You can see that the St. Peter is different. This one is actually clearer. This one is darker. The font is different. You can see here there's some kind of a grass or fire, and here there's only lines. There is no fire, there is no grass, no anything. The vines here are different from here and here. The font is different. The color is different. You can see that the vine here are different as well, vine here are different as well. The drawing here, overall, and overall here is different as well. The number of dots that you have here and that you have here is different as well. The label, where the label has been positioned as well, it's very, very important, especially in younger vintage, because now Petrus measure the distance that you have between the bottom of the bottle and the bottom of the label. It's a very specific distance. I won't tell you what it is, even if I know. But it is very systematic now with Petrus. They actually put at equal distance the label. So any label that looks a bit like this, that has been re-glued, that looks slightly detached, that has a few signs of waving on the side or being detached, could be actually a fake. This one doesn't necessarily mean that it's a fake, but in general, those are signs actually that you have to look for. So this was another video for LeDomduVin, from LeDomduVin, and I hope this is enlightening you about what to look into the bottle of wine, especially bottle of Petrus. When they are that expensive, it is very, very important to do a very careful scrutinizing of the bottle, making sure that you check every single details and that you really realize what are the difference in between the two. In my last post on my blog, I was talking about how important it is to know the history of changes of the different label, the capsules, the fonts, and those kind of things with all of the winery, and especially the most expensive, the one that you are more likely to find on the grey market or on the black market, or basically the most expensive wine. Petrus being one of them. It is very important for you to understand the history of the changes on the label, the printing paper, the printing techniques as well. It is very important for you to be able to understand all of this. So just a quick recap. We just broke all of those bottles because they were empty, but we broke especially the one with the engraving. You don't want to see a bottle with an engraving actually going to the trash and still be a war like this. You want to smash it, you want to break it, because you don't want to retrieve on the grey market, and you don't want to help actually the counterfeiters to be able to find a bottle like this. Because a bottle of Petrus that is engraved like this, or engraved like this one, as I was with the Petrus just underneath like this, those cost a lot of money on the market, and you won't even realize how even some people are looking for those bottles to be able to re-put a new capsule, new label, and basically sell it back on the market with a completely different wine inside, and probably not with the same quality. but fetching a very, very good price as well. So it's very important for people like me, like a quality control director and authenticator, wine authenticator, to make sure that we continue our fight against fake and counterfeit, because there is so many in the market, and it helps when people like us actually deface the label before trashing them, or break the bottle that are engraved before trashing them, to prevent to see them back on the gray market or the black market. I'm going to leave you on this image. This was LeDomduVin, and this was a little video for on complement of my blog, my last blog that I just written for fake and counterfeit bottles. And it's going to be Christmas, so I wish you a very good Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and to your family. And it's going to be New Year's Eve soon, so Happy New Year as well. See you soon on LeDomduVin. Bye-bye.